can't get on a champion or a matchup which favors him in the mid lane. Caspiel's getting second pick jungles all the time, and he's not going to be able to get anything that synergizes with what his team tries to pick. The only thing that's been going for them is they've been getting Shine into good matchups. We see him as the only player in the LST who knows how to deal. What is that blue shading on our band in the bottom left? Is someone highlighting the text?
Yeah, someone's accidentally highlighted the text on the band face here.
How is that possible? It's a graphic.
No, that isn't a graphic.
Actual text?
This is a whole interactive experience, Fish. You can actually use this in the office.
Get rid of it. Stop. Hey, guys.
Secret.
B.
Secret.
Get rid of the B.
Okay, I think audio's actually telling them. They're like, hey, by the way, someone's highlighted the font.
Hello. Hello, please. I don't want this blue ribbon over band.
Ignoring the one advantage maybe Detonator have in draft.
But what I was saying is, Shine is the only one that's been able to get good picks. He's the only player in the LST who knows how to lane against an Aatrox as well, which has been the plague of the LST. I think the final ban here from Detonator should be Aatrox. Actually, no, they can first pick it. If Potter is a competent Aatrox player, he should be fine. It does open up Shine's counter pick of Fiora, which Axis Empire probably won't show early anyway, so they can ban that out in second phase. So far, targeting Caspiel heavily, though. That's 3 juggle bans going towards Caspiel. Axis Empire as well, banning out 2. And this is why the Tiecasters believe it's going to be between Sek as well as Caspiel, because they just ban each other's junglers out. 3 coming in from Detonator, 2 coming in from Axis Empire. Only really leaves Jarvan available as a A-tier jungler. Is there anyone else that we're really missing?
Like we could steal
junglers?
Jarvan. We could see the Jarvan maybe pop out if they want to, but
Jarvan, Lee Sin probably is the only things that you have left. Sek can play Lee Sin perfectly fine.
Sek has also played the Karthus too.
Yeah.
Karthus is a little bit of a pocket one too for Detonator if they want to.
I just don't see the matchup. I don't see Caspiel and Sek having the stand-up performances. Sek has been an on and off. His off games haven't been bad, but he's only been carrying his team once in a blue moon. Whereas Caspiel's had a very rough split, so I just didn't see it when this was mentioned as the key matchup. Early priority over Akali here. Unless this is Potter's pick, I don't understand the priority. I know Akali is a very strong pick and can do well against Aatrox, but you're giving Shine his signature pick, and you're giving away the Xayah lane.
And on top of that too, like for Axis Empire, we recommend to red side teams ban out the Aatrox, except when it's Shine, because Shine has shown he can play against the Aatrox rather very well. So for Detonator to kind of let that slip through the cracks, you are giving somewhat of an S-tier champion over to the S-tier player when it comes to this roster. Ezreal being the priority here before we get into our second round of bans for Golden Feet here, and you get a Rakan.
That's just an easy pick coming from Axis Empire. You lock in the Xayah, you threaten the Xayah-Rakan combo. Detonator could take away the piece, but it's just not as effective when it's not laned with Xayah. And Aatrox locked in. So far, really good coming out from Axis. Detonator do get the nice pick of Jarvan and Akali. Akali having huge priority in the laning phase, Jarvan being one of the few junglers left open after these heavy bans, so putting some pressure on Caspiel. Golden Feet very comfortable in Ezreal. So that is a good pick for him to go up against Blaze and Chili. He'll have Kleptomancy, that would naturally give him a nice gold lead. But it does mean they're very limited when it comes to support. So you can already see Axis Empire decide that, take away the Nautilus, you take away the Yuumi, you're not really left with much in the bottom lane. I hope we'll see something, like an Alistar coming out from Rich. Pyke is still available if they want to play that. But that's very smart bans from Detonator. Taking away Lee Sin, which would be Caspiel's go-to here, and then his pocket pick as well.
Oh, get ourselves a Kha'Zix though, and we did see Kha'Zix.
If you're picking Kha'Zix, you're reaching so far to get a good jungler here.
No, we've only seen Kha'Zix pop up in Summer twice. One of them was coming from Win as more of a, flex stomp pick because they felt so confident. We're going to go ahead, lock in the Kench, so get a little bit more safety once again for Golden Feet against something like a Kha'Zix going to try and jump on him.
And Kench is fine here.
Renekton does well, though, in lane against the Aatrox. We've seen it a couple times. On average, the Aatrox usually falls behind in lane, but makes more of an impact later on.
And really heavy jungle bans coming out here. It's not going to be picked. Really heavy jungle bans coming out here from Detonator. Kind of pinched Caspiel a bit. Kha'Zix is not the champion I think Caspiel foresaw himself playing today.
Yeah, because if you look here, what's really your front line? You pretty much got a Vladimir that's going to act as a pseudo tank. We've seen it before where he's able to stall out.
I would have liked Xin Chao. Xin Chao would have been the pick I'd go for here. You've already got Aatrox playing aggressive mid laner and take Xin Chao, and you suddenly have 3 winning lanes and an aggressive jungler, which can do very well into Jarvan as well. But instead, Kha'Zix's pick, lots of small skirmishes could go the way of Axis Empire. I don't quite like it very much, especially if you're putting Vladimir in the mid lane. He's not going to have any impact at all against Akali in the early levels. His job's to sit back, wait till level 9, and farm up as much as he possibly can without dying. Interesting drafts on both sides. I think they've kind of panicked with some of their picks here. It's still fairly solid team fighting and small skirmish-based drafts towards the top side of the map. Curious to see how these two teams play it.
Well, let's load on into the Rift for our first game of Summer Playoffs. And a simple line of scrimmage right down the river. Might see a late ward or two. We usually do.
Potter's debut in the LST, but entering the playoffs for Detonators. Curious how much of an upgrade Colton Feet's going to be, because K-Sao is kind of like your LWX of the LST, where he's a shotgun. You put him, if as long as he's going forward, he's going to be completely fine. But as soon as he has to start moving backwards, he's double flashing everywhere.
Well, you saw it in like the rankings we showed before we even got into the schedule there. K-Star is second. He was only 1 kill behind Shadow there when it came to kills overall.
At a huge cost as well. K-Star is often the man that dies quite early into team fights when he is the win condition for the side of Detonator. Let's see how much Colton Feet can change it up. It's a fairly safe bottom lane they're playing. Rich and Colton Feet will be perfectly fine. Rich even going for the heal, not going for Ignite, and he's got Guardian as well. So no Spellbook coming out for Tahm Kench. Won't be able to change that summon a spell. And there's good scaling coming out from the Vladimir. Vladimir, Xayah, Rakan will do very well in the late game. Ooh. You just got nothing really in the front lines to help you out while you get there. Kha'Zix and Aatrox will fall off slightly in the late game. I mean, you'd expect Aatrox to just be pushing Aatrox coming out from Shine. That's what he is known to do. And if he does that, what's Caspiel's role in this team composition really? Because you had Xin Chao, you've got the good disengage, you can lock people down, you can be an assassin in the early game, but Chili can't really do much late. It's good damage.
Chili gotta be a little bit careful. He keeps trying to just get Colton Feet on the edge of the knockup, but that's gonna force Chili down to about 200 health. Level 2 has been hit here by Colton Feet and crew, so they'll be able to get a little bit more pressure. Not gonna be get the kill, but Blaze even taking another poke there.
Yeah, that was quite silly. Coming out from Chili, diving in as Rakan.
It's like, what follow-up do you have? It's only level 1.
It's level 1. If you were close to level 2 and that dive going in ticked you over to level 2, then sure, even if you whiffed that, you'd be fine. You'd be able to get a nice heal from your Q, or potentially even dive back towards Xayah and get out of harm's way. But you're just diving into an Ezreal Tahm Kench, who at level 1 do deal a significant chunk of damage.
Check back here into the mid lane. It's Caspiel able to clear out his blue. Might be looking for a play down toward bot lane. Wards have expired.
What do you do, Bugs? Show me. He is making a play.
He's going to jump in. Chili with the flash forward. Gets 2 flashes out here. Actually, that was the arcane shift. So summoner for summoner here from the supports. Ignite still available for Chili.
I mean, he probably would have died there. The damage that comes out from the follow-up would have been a lot. Caspiel just loops back around as this wave pushes in. They hit level 3. I mean, Colton Feet and Rich just need to play this one safe. Chili can't realistically engage.
Oh, trying for it. There's the knock-up, and there's first blood. Going over to Axis Empire to start things off in game 1.
Well, they can if Blaze flashes forward and allows Chili to get into the back line. So Axis Empire do wait out for it, and it pays off. They get a kill in the bottom lane.
Nicely done there. Blaze acting as the Rakan delivery system that time around. We'll see if Sek, though, wants to try and make a play here. It's going to force out the blood pool from Carino.
Remember that Sanguine Pool takes a lot of your current hit points to use. It uses your current hit points as a resource. So if you're popping your W early to avoid a gank, it's the equivalent of taking a lot of harass in lane, as you can see from the damage he took just there.
Oh, Shine. Trying to trade back here. Looking for a dive. Sec, if he can land the flag drag, he'll be able to. Shine. Nicely
beautiful.
done. Gets the flash over. Potter with the triumph will survive, and they trade back, kill up in top lane.
So well played coming up from Sec. Flashes forward to make sure the knock-up connects, and Potter jumping in at the last second to capitalize on that flash. Very early kill topside map coming up from Detonator, putting Shine behind in this Renekton matchup, which means Potter will be able to sustain in this lane. So even though your bottom side of the map has been put down with Rich being taken down, Cold Feet's still very healthy on this Ezreal, can still play in this bottom lane perfectly fine, whereas Shine's going to take a little bit more time.
And to be expected. That's really good, though, by Potter. And Sec realizing they have that small little bit of a matchup advantage, because on average, you know, the Aatrox does fall behind pretty early. Usually can scale back, though, with just the split push, like you mentioned. So realizing, hey, they have the opportunity. Let's put Shine down immediately. Let's slow him down, as that's often what Axis Empire often have to rely on. Other than that, though, first 5 minutes, it's a kill for a kill. Detonator with a small advantage overall, about 500 just built up from the CS advantage that's established here in mid lane by about 2 waves.
It's also a very rushed tier coming out from Cold Feet, so if he does go towards...
That's
sorry,
a
very
Sheen.
rushed Sheen. So if he does go towards the tier route, which you should as Ezreal, that's going to stack a little bit later than normal, but saved his teleport, so he could simply farm up for that tier, pick it up, come back to lane. Sheen is a much better option if you're going to be looking for fights or trades. Just adds that little bit of extra punch to your auto attacks and abilities.
Caspill caught out on a ward. One thing for Detonator, already a lot of decent coverage into the jungle entrances. We have ward down onto the Raptor.
You have to when you play Kha'Zix. Your ganking potential is not as strong as the Jarvans. You don't have any crowd control. You have a slow, and not a reliable slow at that. So your objective is focus on neutral camps. Xayah and Kha'Zix take down neutrals very quickly. So focusing on things like this Infernal Trait could help them out, but it gets low and Detonator collapse.
They're pinching here. Karino, though, coming from mid lane. Archony going to jump in. Staying a little bit of damage here. And Blaze going to go over the wall. So nicely done by Detonator to kind of sweep in and say, no, this Infernal's ours. Thanks for the leash.
That's devastating because, again, reliable crowd control from Sec means you want to take these early skirmishes. It's going to go the way of Detonator, especially with Ezreal rushing that Sheen. Means if he gets into this fight, he is going to deal way more damage than expected.
Oh.
It's perfectly fine.
Yeah, Rich can just eat him up there.
Just
Cold Feet can be pretty aggressive with that arcane shit.
But again, with Kha'Zix, he's often used as a jungler that can secure neutral objectives very well. Due to his isolate damage and massive single target damage output, he can take things like Baron, like Dragons down so quickly. Losing that Infernal Drake is huge and such a big boost for Detonator. Such a strong early dragon to secure. Now you've got the 10% increased AD and AP for your entire team.
And you know
Kha'Zix just has another thing that he could have been useful for taken away from him.
On top of that, too, there's going to be another Infernal spawning second here in game 1. So now it kind of puts a little bit of a worry there for Axis Empire. You give over 2 Infernal Drakes, then you're looking at 18 to 17% damage. Look at this. Looking to set up a play. Level 6 is hit for Blaze, so he does have the Featherstorm available. Has to be careful with his mana pool, though. Looks like they have an idea that this Jarvan might be nearby.
It seems like they're only going to use Jarvan to engage. If Cold Feet got jumped on, Chili and Blaze don't take the bait, so they're going to sit back and relax. That's nice.
Eee. Chili taking a decent chunk there. Trying to force them back. Cold Feet doesn't have a whole lot of mana available.
No, he wants to go back and get his tier, so use the ultimate, relieves a lot of pressure because Blaze and Chili now have to think twice if they want to engage on towards Ezreal. Just allows him to push in this lane nice and easy, go back, get his tier, and come back without too many repercussions. Still another big wave coming through.
Looks like Blaze really just wants to try and push this back here. But still, Detonator, they have themselves the minion dematerializer that was still left, so they'll be able to push back that cannon. And Axis now going to have to let this wave hit their tower. And Cold Feet should be able to get a back off. Hell, he might not even have to use teleport. See, Caspill going to start.
I teleport here just because Blaze and Chili are already at half health and they need to go back to base. You teleport in, you keep this wave under turret. You, at very least, trade your teleport for a turret plating. And the best case scenario is Xayah or Rakan goes back to base, and suddenly you have a lopsided back, or both of them go back to base, and now you're going to take 3 turret plates.
You know, they might get dove here.
By who?
Oh, you had Castle. Oh, no, Castle, never mind.
Yeah, sorry, buddy. Look, I don't think Axis Empire's jungle is going to dive Axis Empire's bottom lane. It's not how that works.
Castle's just still farming up here.
Oh,
so
you missed the ward.
Oh, rough. Castle's going to start up that scuttle. Jarvan over by the Raptors, so Castle tries to go for a play here. Instead, though, Rich is just going to double check. True Shot Barrage not going to connect its mark on to Blaze. Still lots of pings heading out in the river, though. We have the Akali might be looking for a roam as well. Everything has calmed down a little bit. 10 minutes. Rift Herald now spawning in. It's a 1,000 gold lead overall for Danator. Sarchny just trying to get a little bit of poke damage here, but already that's actually a needlessly large Rod Rush coming out from Carino. Trying to get some extra damage going in. That's going to be Ignite and Hemoplague coming out. Archony should be able to survive. But very aggressive play coming out from Carino.
Yeah, is Carino okay? Archony just goes, whoa, chill, buddy. Chill.
Archony got to be a little bit careful there. It's got flawless execution available, so can get out of range. But Carino's full health here. Caspel's nearby. Might be looking for a dive.
But look at how healthy Archony is now. He's going to jump in.
Cloak is used. There we go. You have the Jarvan nearby as well. Carino taking a lot of health here. Now comes back the engage. Quickness is going to connect on to the Jarvan. Ignite comes out, but both members of Danator will escape there as summoners have to be used.
Nicely played from both sides. Akali trying to get the execute with her ultimate. Playing it a bit dangerously. Sek coming in, realizing that it was more of an escape from the 3 members roaming into the mid lane than it was an actual gank attempt. Helps him out, just keeps him locked down while she is able to retreat back towards her turret. Teleport's available for Archony, but the wave was actually pretty thin, so decides not to waste it.
Oh, Rich. Gonna get caught out here. Decent chunk of damage coming out from Axis. Second Infernal Drake could be spawning in under 30 seconds, so it looks like Axis are trying to get some priority toward the pit. You do see the Jarvan already making a direct beeline from spawn. He's going to jump in, actually, and even start it up here. So it looks like Detonator pulling the trigger. Does Caspel know this is being taken? I think he assumes now. Chili's going to come over toward the side. Detonator have inside track. Here comes Carino over from the top of the river. Archie jumping in, taking a decent chunk of damage. Now they're engaged, and Archie going to get caught up, eaten up. Sek's going to be able to secure the Infernal. Both teleports coming in from top lane. Potter goes into a 3v1, able to force out a flash. He's going to try and chase down the Kha'Zix. Meanwhile, Shine trying to jump in on 2 members. And in the end, it is going to be just a single kill. But, oh, True Shot Barrage coming through. Oh, Caspel almost gets sniped there.
Did you just call Potter Pobelter?
I said Potter.
I heard Pobelter.
I don't know.
Pobelter doesn't play in our league.
I know he doesn't. I said Potter. I'm pretty sure I said Potter.
Yeah, you might want to go listen to that one, Pobelter.
Either way, second Infernal Drake secured here by Detonator Fish. Thank you very much.
They only lose a kill for them. Potter almost picked one back up in return. It was just Jarvan that went down for us. A decisive decision-making coming out from Detonator. Important objective to have, especially with, you know, really big 80 damage threats. Especially when Ezreal completes his mana immune, he gets a huge chunk of 80, and that's now going to be amplified 17%. Next one comes up to Ocean, so you don't need to protect the triple Infernal just yet, and that goes over towards Axis Empire. You're not too sad about it. It's just a small objective going their way, but still nice to have, especially with mana-hungry champion on the team such as Ezreal.
You know, for Detonator, they might not mind just stacking up those dragons. The game, say, goes late. And that Elder Dragon can become a possible win condition if they want to try and use that.
Just not something to need to die for here. Infernal is just way stronger when it comes to the dragons you want to pick up for the mid and late game team fights, and Detonator have secured that. They've got a nice gold lead for themselves with about 1,000 gold. They're just really waiting for their big item power spikes. Jarvan's got his tanky item, but he's not so useful beyond his crowd control skill set until he either goes towards a damage item or his second tank item. Renix is still waiting for his first. Spear of Sojin, not even complete, just has the Avarice Blade. Is it Avarice Blade?
Executioner.
Executioner's Calling. Just has the Executioner's Calling to help him out, you know, mitigate the healing that would come out from Vladimir, from Aatrox. So Detonator really waiting for some good item power spikes. Kali doesn't have the first one. You really want that mana immune to go with the Iceborne Gauntlet for Golden Feet. If not, his damage is going to be a little bit lower than average. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see Detonator just sit back in their lanes and farm out for the next few minutes. I'd like to see Axis Empire use this proactively. Attack Rift Herald. You know that they don't have the right items power spikes at the moment. You've got a Black Cleaver on a Aatrox as well as a Warrior's Enchantment complete for a Kha'Zix. Start contesting for this Rift Herald. Try and take that away from Detonator before they get their major power spike, especially now that Potter doesn't have his just yet. Now, Akali's able to pick up her Gunblade, so that's going to help them out slightly.
Well, they're going to be started up here.
Away. Don't let them have it.
See, 3 members of Axis come down. There's going to be Shine as well. Make it 4. So Detonator at a bit of a disadvantage here. Quickness going to be popped. Chili wants to go for an engage. Able to get the knock up onto Potter. And that Renekton gets shredded down instantly. And Shine's going to pick up a kill. Teleport coming in from Golden Feet. Featherstorm going to come out from Blaze. Flawless execution. Gets the target. True Shot Barrage goes through 3 members. Rich, though, able to find the Akali, but isn't able to save her as Vladimir able to finish off the kill. So Carino's going to get a kill credit. Detonator able to still fight back here. No ultimate on Chili, so he's got to be a little bit careful. There's no real engage available, and Detonator are trying to hold them back off. Golden Feet's still alive.
And a great fight being picked there by Axis Empire. Again, item power spikes not on the side of Detonator. They're not strong top side of the map just yet. Only Akali with her Gunblade. No one else had theirs. So Axis could pick a fight like that. Deciding not to secure their Rift Herald, so that's going to reset. Unless Chili can hold on to it for Caspiel, but I don't think he will.
There you go. Shelly goes back to her pit. After people were fighting over her, she says, guys, calm down. We'll decide it later. But again, just another trade of kills for both sides. And I mentioned for Detonator, as long as Axis Empire didn't really take a Rift Herald there, they can go back to farming up.
Yeah, it's okay, but it doesn't mean Axis Empire take a lead. So Detonator really need Golden Feet now to get his item, get his mana immune. Is slowly seeing the items complete, the power spikes complete. Kali and Renekton both have theirs. Jarvan is looking for his first tanky item, but doesn't have it yet. Ezreal's looking for his mana immune.
Castle jumping up here. Blaze also getting some damage, but no root actually. Does force Potter to have to back off with 3 members up here. No minions though, so they got to wait for this minion wave to push. Take a look back at the replay here toward the Rift Herald fight. As Chili wanted to start things off here, trying to find the quick engage onto Sekam Potter, only catching out the Renekton.
A simple engage. They catch out Renekton, they go for the quick pick, backing off before they can get enough damage down, but Shine comes in to clear it. Archie does have his Gunblade, so he's able to execute Blaze quite easily. However, the rest of it, he does get back to his team in time, so even though he gets saved by Rich for a little bit longer, damage that comes to as soon as he gets spat back out is way too much. But could have been even more. Jarvan probably should have fallen there. Axis Empire just needed to be a little bit more focused and watch their positioning coming into the fight for players like Blaze, and would have been a nice big team fight. Rift Herald lives to fight another day, and a nice swap of Xayah Rakan to the top side map means Axis Empire can take a turret for themselves.
Yeah, that's actually first brick gold going down here at 17.5 minutes. Does get traded immediately by Detonator, so they're close to trying to sneak that one away, but in the end, that's going to be Axis Empire, just getting another extra little bit of gold.
It's also a very early itemization coming out from Carino. He's gone towards the Spellbinder very early on Vladimir, so when that hits 100 stacks, he could look for a big play with Flash and Hemoplague available. Would be able to chunk out majority of the squishy members from Detonator if he lands a good ultimate. Just means that he can be a little bit more active in these early skirmishes instead of farming up to 3 items that we see, top lane Vlads do all the time.
You see here.
They didn't see the rest of Detonator.
Oh, here we go. Chili going to use the engage. Tries to get the knock-up onto 2 players. Blaze has to back off, though. Blade Caller isn't able to save him. True Shot Barrage, though, able to cut through the back line. Shine, though, on this Aatrox wants to try and get in onto the fight, looking for the knock-up. Not going to find it. Rich is able to save his carry once again. Archony could look for a turnaround here. Golden Feet still very healthy. Chili wants to jump in. Oh, there it is, though. Shine able to find the damage with his team, though. Just going to pile in. Carino still very healthy at this point. Looking to take down member. Shine finds a double kill. And Axis Empire finally able to break open the stalemate. Archony, though, goes jumping back in. Flawless execution is available. Gets the kill onto the Vladimir. Trades one back. Gets a little bit of health. Shine, though, will put him in his place. It's going to be 3 kills going on to the Aatrox.
You know what? I thought that was going to be a good fight going the way of Detonator there, but Axis play it so well. They keep disengaging and re-engaging. Carino going in, getting the first bit of damage. Doesn't commit to the fight. He goes, okay, I got my first round of AoE off. I'm going to disengage because I don't have items like my stopwatch ready. I don't have, big bursts ready to continue the rest of this fight. Let me disengage. I'll use my flash for a follow-up. Same with Chili. Chili gets jumped on. He quickly dashes to 2 safe targets on his team, waits for his knock-up to come back up, and goes back into the fight. So well played coming out from Axis Empire. Not able to secure, were able to secure Rift Tail there, so they pick up an even bigger objective, and Shine just becomes massive. 8,700 gold here.
And finally, the stalemate between these two teams is broken, it would seem, as Axis Empire now with a significant gold lead, and Shine and Blaze now very happy. They're starting to get items onto themselves. You see the Death Stance being completed there by Shine.
That was also just really good vision control coming out from Axis Empire. Detonator didn't quite know where the rest of the Axis Detonator thought they had a position where they can jump over towards Axis Empire, but the rest of the team was waiting in Fog of War in order to follow up in case those members of Axis got jumped on. Using their single target damage quite well with the use of Aatrox as well as Kha'Zix, making it so that, Vladimir can go in and deal great AoE damage, good AoE crowd control coming out from Chili, but it's really Kha'Zix and Aatrox picking up the players that are split up from the rest of Detonator one by one. They have to be a bit careful though, because Archony showed in that last fight he's happy to go and try and assassinate a few members, and if he jumps in towards a big team fight, he can always try and hold his own, use his invisibility to disengage from fights and get that heal off from his gunblade as well. Sustain himself well during these team fights. Detonator sneak away that 3rd dragon though during the time they were respawning, and Axis Empire backed away from Rift Herald.
Themselves another quick tower in bot lane, so that's going to be both outer tiers in top and bot cracked here by Axis Empire. So they're able to hold mid. Also see Carino and Axis still want to go for these fights because we got Spellbinder actually being rushed here onto the Vladimir, so looking for that big, immense burst right away. He needs to fight though. For Daniel, they're going to try and just stall this out a little longer. Cold Feet has that Muramana now completed, fully stacked. Also has his Ionian, so I believe he's pretty close to his CDR.
I think he is. No, he's at 40% now.
Yeah.
Should be at 45 if he took Cosmic Insight, which he should as Ezreal.
Just going to go ahead, get over the wall. And 4th Dragon of the game going to be coming up in less than 30 seconds. Rift Herald going to be popped in mid, so it looks like Axis really want to try and force this out of tier tower. He's going to get Shelly to bring it down to about a quarter health. Does the rest of Axis, though, actually finish it off? No, they just get that pressure.
They don't have good siege potential. Your range champions are Vladimir as well as Xayah. Both don't have very long range. Very hard for you to siege against this, but they're looking for that 4th dragon of the game. Try and secure at least one for themselves.
Just take something away here from Detonator. They're not able to take down that 1st tier tower in mid lane. We go back into a little bit of that stalemate between these two teams, which should have been expected. Both of these teams rarely actually get a first tower past the first 15 minutes of the game.
But the longer this game goes, the more Vladimir is able to scale up and become a big late game threat. And at the same time, Aatrox starts becoming stronger in the split pushing lanes.
And Shine's been farming up like a madman. He's got 2 levels actually on Potter. Level 15 Aatrox going to soon have that level 3 ult complete when he hits level 16.
Shine is a very happy man in this game.
You know,
He's ahead in experience, he's ahead in gold, he's got good items to go up against this squad. I think he only really has to be afraid of Akali for the moment until he completes his Giant's Fists.
Lots of control wards also picked up here on the side of Axis. So they want to start trying to push that ward line into the jungle of Detonators, see if they can catch any members out. Shine resumes his split push in the bot lane and is going to be able to match the teleport of the Renekton quite shortly. I think for Axis Empire, they are down. Teleports across the board. They're facing 3-1 here. So DTN will be able to cycle the Akali over to be a split push if they really want to.
And we just wait. That's the name of this game. Let's wait as long as possible. See who blinks first.
It's just a staring match.
Chili wanted to wait in the back of that pit, see if he could sneak away the ward.
Look at these two as well. They're just waiting for minions.
Oh, I'm going to take a nap.
There's two big boys that have ultimates that turn them into bigger boys. Here comes Archony, though. That's going to be actually ultimate being popped immediately here by Potter. Shine's going to try and trade a little bit back. Infernal Chain's not going to be able to save him as the shutdown goes on to the Akali. And Axis Empire can't get anything else on the map here.
And that's a very nice call coming out from Detonator. They can't take Baron here, although they've got Xayah as well as Kha'Zix in position for it. You've got double teleport from Archony as well as Potter. That would turn into a 4-on-5 so quickly that Axis Empire would lose the fight. So, very smart play. I think that was one of the few plays that Detonator could make. Use Akali and Fog of War to go down for a gank against the Aatrox. Now it's just rinse and repeat. Axis Empire now have a weak point of the map, which is they can't answer this double teleport threat. They may have to eventually bring Aatrox in towards the team for a team fight, which is not the place that Shine wants to be. He wants to be a split pushing threat. He wants to keep Renekton underneath the turret. He wants to make it so that if Renekton makes a misplay, he's got a huge advantage and can create a lot of space for his squad.
About this too. Colton Feet just continues to farm up. True Shot Barrage is going to come out. Isn't going to be able to clear out the wave, though, as this tower's finally going to go down. Was given up as he went over to go ahead and take up the blue buff. So Axis Empire finally able to get the last remaining outer tier tower. With that should naturally allow them to push in a little bit more, get a little bit more ward coverage down. Meanwhile, though, Scuttle going to be picked up here by the Jarvan, and it's back to the waiting game, Fish.
It's what it has been for the past few minutes.
Carino would like to fight, though. He just picked up his Void Staff, too.
Oh, Carino's going in.
Woo! Carino. There we go. Hemoplague comes out with the pool. Archony's just going to get popped here. Redemption also coming down, so Carino's going to get some extra health. And Archony, unfortunately, looks like the Akali's going to get slain. As the Shuriken does land, but Carino does not care. Still sitting on 1,000 health, and immediately Baron calls coming out here from Axis Empire.
Yeah, he's a big boy now. 40-second death timer coming out from Archony. This should be Axis's Baron. With Renekton stuck in the bottom lane, you've only got 3 players to contest this, one of which is the Tahm Kench, and Axis could just turn.
Quickness going to be popped here. They jump on top of Rich. Huge True Shot Barrage, though, able to cut through 3 members, and the Cataclysm going to come in, and they find themselves the target. Chili able to survive, but Blaze will not, and over the wall, Golden Feet able to find himself the double kill shutdown. Blaze, though, re-enters the fight. Potter as well, and it is just a bouncy castle. Triple kill onto the Ezreal, and Axis Empire, they know their time's up. They're going to try and start running for the hills. Potter jumps in, gets the stun on to Shine. Golden Feet still alive at this point. Flag and Drag not going to land. Golden Feet wants to finish this off onto it. Potter takes away the Quadra. It looks like Golden Feet able to find it himself with the ace for Detonator.
Delayed ace coming out from Golden Feet, and this is why this man was put into the AD carry position today. He's been playing top for the team for so long, and what should have been a free Baron for Axis Empire, a free fight for Axis Empire, was forced way too heavily. They needed to wait for Detonator to be in position for an engage coming from the Baron pits. But they pushed out way too far, overextended, allowed Detonator to kite them back. They just got into a position where Golden Feet could line up skill shot after skill shot after skill shot onto every single member of Axis Empire.
And those are huge item buys now for Golden Feet. He just picked up a GA. He finished off his Bork as well. That's a happy Ezreal to pick up those 4 kills. And now Detonator with Baron buff, 1,000 gold lead. True Shot Barrage comes out. Not going to be able to do a whole lot there. Just saying hello. As the 5th dragon of the game will be secured by Axis, but now we have that looming 3rd Infernal also now here for Detonator on the next respawn.
And that's probably going to be Detonator's beacon to fight. They're going to say, Axis Empire, this is where we draw the line in the sand. This is where we say, you want to come and try and take the game back, fight us over the Infernal. Because if Detonator get that 3rd Infernal, it is going to help the Detonator roster so much. So Axis need to fight there. Unlike that Baron play where Detonator didn't have to fight, that's a must fight for Axis.
Oh, Rich coming over the wall. Shine is going to be occupied by 4 members. Is going to get taken down. And with that pick, and with a minion wave in top lane, they'll be able to take down a tower and pick up some of this freestanding gold left on the map.
And I like this coming out from Detonator. They are no scare. Look at this last fight. Axis should not have engaged here. Chili goes so far forward. During the entire charm, nothing happened to Rich. Nothing happened to Rich the entire charm. It was only in the last few seconds of the crowd control where they were able to get some damage with the time catch. The entire time, he was buying time for his team to get a position, which Colin Feet does beautifully. Lines up the whole team in a line for a great true shot barrage, gets some good damage down on the side, and uses the stopwatch at a time where Shine wants to join the fight, so Axis just have to sit there for 2.5 seconds while Colin Feet can't take any damage, and Detonator play around it so beautifully. Sloppy towards the end in terms of cleanup, but they get the job done. And a beautiful delayed ace comes out from Detonator.
And just one mistake will cost you big time here. And now, True Shot Barrage comes out again. Blaze has to back. And with that, second tier tower is also going to get taken down here in top lane. And Gold Lead starting to excel now to 3,000 in favor of Detonator. Still have a minion wave knocking here onto the inhibitor. Question is,
still got a minute of Baron buff to work with, so Detonator can do this nice and easy. Axis is going to look for the fight.
Wants to force the fight there with the Hemoplague just to clear out the wave, it seems. But Camion's still available. Carino got to be careful. Can't be frontlining. Meanwhile, mid lane is being split pushed here now by the Akali. And it looks like Axis Empire is starting to fall a bit apart. Shine wants to try and trade back here. That's going to be the quickness being popped, but Chili gets instantly deleted, and Blaze now almost gets assassinated. Archony only needs one more auto attack. Blaze will survive. True Shot Barrage. Blaze gets a stopwatch. Now re-engage comes out from the Shine, able to get a decent chunk of damage off. Golden Feet goes down extremely low. Going to go put into stasis in the GA. Carino's able to survive, and it looks like Axis Empire are able to hold on, but they lose the inhibitor.
It's again Detonator biting off a little bit more than they can chew. It was a nice attempt to try and kill the Xayah, but she was able to escape. And then you do not push for anything more. However, like you said, they got the main target, which was the inhibitor. They don't get everything they want in the world, but they do get the most important objective. Does mean their Baron power play doesn't give them as much as they would have liked. And Axis Empire is still well and truly in this game. Vladimir's got 3 items now with the Zhonya's. He becomes a pseudo-tank. He can go invulnerable for 2 seconds with a Sanguine Pool, and then 2.5 with the Zhonya's, giving him a good 3 spell rotation combo. And also Xayah is well and truly online. 75% crit available, one of them being a Zeal Island item, the rapid fire cannon, to give her a little bit of extra range every few times she weaves auto attacks in here and there.
All is good there. Castle going to level up on the Evolve, now level 16 on the Kha'Zix. And like you mentioned, Axis are able to bring back the gold. Now it's only 1,000 gold lead for Detonator, and at this point, that really doesn't matter.
No, it's going to come down to composition and teamfight execution. Axis really wants Shine in the side lane. They really want him to split push, but not sure if he can anymore. Not sure if he's not in terms of can he fight anyone. He can definitely fight players in the other team, but more of can Shine afford to while the rest of the team's grouped up as 4? Because it's not like you have a Sejuani in the jungle who can throw out an ultimate and disengage or engage. You've got a Kha'Zix who not as effective when it comes to a 4-1 split push.
And for Detonator 2, getting that top lane inhibitor, especially around this point in the game, rather good considering the Infernal Drake should respawn before the inhibitor pops up. So they'll naturally have that pressure coming across the map and can at least force out Shine to use the teleport, and they'll have teleport advantage once again. And it makes it really difficult. Let's see, Engage going to come out. Chili wants to use quickness, trying to disengage. Golden Feet over toward the side. True Shot Barrage does not land onto anything. And now here comes Shine on that Aatrox double knockup. Jarvan able to get back to safety here. Shine going to go over the wall. And that appears all that's going to come out of this fight. Sarchny has to back off there, trying to pick up some fruit for some extra health. But with that, oh, Caspel jumping in. Able to not find the kill.
Golden Feet's so quick on that. As soon as Caspiel jumps in, throws out a couple of abilities to lock him down a bit further. But it is an Infernal Drake coming up. That's something Detonator want. They want 3 Infernal Drakes to go towards the late game here, giving them such an upper hand during these next few fights.
On top of that, too, you got a super minion wave now starting to crash into the base here. They have to find the kill onto the Jarvan, or else they're going to be losing out here. Nexus towers are starting to get hit.
He's so tanky, though. True Shot Barrage going to hit the wave inside the base, too, so that's going to put a lot of pressure towards Axis Empire. Detonator just need to stall. They don't need to force the fight, just need to stall.
Let's see here, going down. It's going to get secured by Axis Empire. Sek able to delay the fight a little longer with the stopwatch. Gets over to safety. Carino, though, trying to jump immediately onto the Akali. Can't find the kill. And in the end, Axis Empire able to take away the 3rd Infernal Drake, deny it from Detonator. But guess what? Baron spawning in less than 30 seconds.
Yeah, Baron's going to come up soon. They can try and start this one while the rest of the team went back to base. However, Axis are trying to get in position to stop this.
Let's see, Archony looking to set up a trap here. Gets a little bit of health back. Castle over the wall. No wards being placed. The threat of that Kha'Zix maybe jumping in is enough to force Detonator to have to back off.
It was a nice try. They just force Axis to come down and defend this Baron, but because they're not committing so hard to it, they can just simply disengage as well. Very close game in Game 1 between these 2 teams. Starting to like Detonator's fight composition, but at the same time, you've got to respect Carino and how strong his Vladimir is at the moment. Goodbye, Colin Feet.
Colin Feet? He should be. There you go.
Good boy.
Get yourself back in this game.
As was that full items, by the way. Double life still being picked up. Bloodthirster complete.
Whew.
Guardian's Angel coming back off of cooldown shortly, so we'll have 2 lives during these big skirmishes. Very useful when you're against a Vladimir as well as a Kha'Zix. Because, yeah, you could go towards a Hex Drinker and get a big magic shield if Vladimir dives in. But if you die and the person who's diving you dies, you will come back to life and there's no more threats to deal with you anymore.
Also, a thing here for Carino, sure is big, but his lifesteal spell vamp is starting to get cut through. You got 3 grievous wounds actually picked up here on the side down there. You got Executioner on the top and jungle are going to be your front line, likely hitting that Vladimir at some point during the fight. And Archie likes just kiting that Q every once in a while. I'm
actually surprised there's none coming out from the side of Axis Empire besides Chili's Ignite, because Akali has a lot of healing potential.
Your Jarvan's got Bloody Warmogs now complete here too.
Warmogs is cool, but that's out of combat. Ragnar will heal quite a decent amount as well with his enhanced Qs, and Ezreal will double lifesteal here. I think it'd be effective if they're able to invest into some sort of a lifesteal mitigation, but they haven't done so. No Morellos, no Grievous Wounds coming out from any of the on-hit damage attack damage dealers.
I saw Kindle Gem actually just sold here by Carino. He's just rushed for the Rabadons.
Big damage. Big boy Vladimir, ready to play.
See here, Axis are able to force back Detonator away from the Baron pit.
Remember, Axis do objectives very quickly. They've got a Mountain and an Infernal to help them out too. Blaze rips through it, so does Caspiel.
Both teleports need to come in soon. There's the flag to bring them in. Sak gonna go big here, but he's gonna get taken down immediately, but now onto the back line. Are they able to find the damage? Chili goes extremely low, but he's gonna survive. Meanwhile, Carino able to kite back the rest of the team. Archony, though, finds his target. Caspiel's not able to slice him down, and Axis a little bit tossy-turny here. Who's going to actually fall first? Shine going to try and chase down Poder now over the side, though. Golden Feet going in big, trying to go for the big play, but Shine still alive, and now Archony has come back from the dead. Will be Rich alongside Golden Feet and Axis Empire. Shine now has to go into a 2v1, needs to at least take down this Jarvan. Archony, though, keeping them occupied. Sek, though, is going to get taken down, and now it's back into a 3v3. Shine trying to delay as long as possible. Carino's coming back. Castle wants to jump on in. Axis Empire want to try and pull the trigger and try and re-engage. Rich is going to get in. There's the pool to slow him down. Archony going to get taken out. Shine finds his target, and Axis Empire are able to bring this back on the brink of death. Now on to the Baron.
So split towards the very end that Shine gets a second ultimate throughout that entire team fight. Turns it on, and as soon as that ultimate comes online for Aatrox, he heals back up to full. He's able to take down everyone from the side of Detonator, and it means that Axis Empire can swing over towards Baron. Detonator played that fight so sloppy. The basic theory of that team fight was Colin Feet's going to carry. That was the goal, though. Colin Feet's going to make some big plays and carry us. Well, It's not the case. They wasted the Jarvan ultimate. They kept Blaze inside a pit with no one to jump on him. So what's the point of throwing down the ultimate? He's not an AD Jarvan. It doesn't deal damage. Blaze will just sit in that pit the entire time, wait for it to disintegrate, and there's no follow-up. They basically use Jarvan to engage and guarantee a teleport coming in from Potter. That's it. And it was almost won there by Colton. He used the Guardian Angel aggressively. Arcane shifting into the team to get a kill before being taken down, knowing that when he revives the Guardian Angel, it gives Rich enough time to collapse and make sure that he's safe. However, that's not enough. Aatrox was able to run around top lane, survive as long as possible. He's now got 6 items as well. That's a big boy Aatrox being picked up here by Shine. And this Elder Dragon could be the last stand. Actually looking for a pick to Archony.
Well, 2 GAs are available here for Axis. That's going to be engaged immediately onto Blaze. True Shot Barrage going to find his target, and Blaze gets taken down. Detonator able to find the carry, but here comes the re-engage on the side of Axis. They have extra lives. They want to try and fight this. Chili going down extremely low. Caspel going to get popped into his GA, but Shine is just 2.
So
damn huge on the Aatrox. Finds another one as Carino's going to get the kill.
I mean, you can't deal with this, man. Shine is so strong right now. Colnafy gets a big assassination towards Blaze. That time they use the ultimate from Jarvan perfectly to lock him inside the pit. But it doesn't matter because nobody can deal with Shine. They're not able to cut down his regeneration, and he just goes to town with his ultimate available.
Meanwhile, he also got Caspel just going to go ahead and solo the Elder Drag. Archony going to jump here onto Carino. That's going to be... Oh my god! Say goodbye to Colton Feed. He gets eviscerated off the rift. Elder Dragon secured here by Axis, and they got a minion wave in mid.
It's all over. They're just going to be able to march straight down any one of these lanes and rip Detonator apart.
Caspel jumping in. Sec doesn't have the Stone Blade available. He's going to get ripped apart himself, and there we go. Underneath the inhibitor tower, there goes middle inhib. And Axis Empire, after what looked like a good early game for Detonator, turns it back around after some sloppy fights, and that's just how they like to play. Detonator final stand. They're not even going to make it here, as the Nexus shall fall in our first playoff game. Going to go in favor of Axis to start things off.
9-4-8, 3-1-13, 9-2-11. That was the score on the top side of the map, and this is an Axis Empire we have not seen the entire split. It has been all about trying to get the bottom lane ahead. Shine would be able to carry towards the late game if he got a few items for himself. This time around, we finally see them focus heavily towards their top side combos, and they do so incredibly well during that match. And it's the Axis Empire we've been wanting to see. Finally making it work.
Yeah.
Even reaching deep into the Caspian Champion Pool. I didn't like the Kha'Zix pick, but it turns out it paid off for them.
Yeah, it did enough. That's all it needs to do. As long as you can secure the victory, doesn't matter what you pick, as long as you're able to take down the Nexus there. It was a little messy, though, at times, and I think a lot of Axis's opportunities came off some sloppy plays from Detonator during those mid-game team fights.
Detonator weren't very proactive when it came to their fights. They weren't quite sure what they were meant to do. They wanted to dive in, but there were so many threats that they didn't know how to handle it. A lot of miscommunication, a lot of really poor fights, but there was just one fight that really swung, and I hope that's the replay we're going to take a look before we go in towards the end of that game. Because a lot of things were crucial in that fight. From the engage to an Ocean Dragon being available for a team, to the way Shine was able to buy time for his squad as well during the fight itself. So hopefully we'll be able to watch that second last team fight. And again, it came back to Shine as the win condition. And our first question of the game was, is Colton Feet, dropping out of top lane, making top side a bit weaker, but bottom side a lot stronger, effective for the team? Now, Colton Feet almost single-handedly carried so many of these fights.
it was pretty nice to see. And Potter's early game, he got pressure down.
Fine. And he got pressure.
That's what you expect in that matchup, at least, when it comes to Renekton versus Aatrox. But after that, though,
and look, they shut down the bottom lane. I'm going to give it to Colton Feet. They did really well on the bottom side of the map, but Shine was still able to get towards his 6-item breaking point. And from split 1 till now, once Shine gets to that 6-item breaking point, there's nothing much you can really do against him anymore. It just becomes way too strong.
You got to hope he makes a mistake, because that seems to be the only way that he ends up losing it there.
That's exactly what happened in the split 1 grand finals.
The
only way they lost was he made a mistake.
Exactly.
Doing red buff for 30 minutes. Don't do red buff for 30 minutes.
But it's nice to see the return to form here from Axis in the last 2 weeks, because we were questioning, especially last week, there was a possibility Axis wasn't even going to be in our playoffs. If they lost that game to Armored Project, then it would have been all over. We wouldn't have been seeing them here today. So they're able to turn it up here and come now into game one, capitalizing off some mistakes. For Detonator, got to kind of go back to a little bit of the drawing board because there was a lot of good things, a lot of bad things, and you now go to game two here and you say, what do you do?
Yeah, first thing you do is you fix that draft. I don't think Detonator or Axis Empire, to be frank, drafted very well there, giving away the Aatrox just for their Kali pick. Kali did fine, but it wasn't used for anything. I thought they were going to use it to mitigate the Aatrox top, because Akali does have an okay matchup into Aatrox top side of the map, but instead they put it mid lane against Vladimir, and there was no pressure onto his Vladimir. Karina was never in threat of dying, and he just sat back and scaled as he picked up item after item.
Yeah, and it wasn't even like wave clear Vladimir. It was like, I want to fight Vladimir. He never picked up a Proto Belt. That's usually what we see from the Vladimirs. If they're
He
just
went straight into early items, so he went towards the Spellbinder as quick as possible, making sure he's relevant during those early skirmishes, and then snowballed into a big Rabadons in his third or fourth item with Zhonya's to help him out. So really well played coming out from Karina. I think the first thing that's needed to do is look at that draft. And Axis, you know, the draft wasn't perfect for them, but they made it work. Now, let's take a look at this fight. So many big things. First is Sek engaging here for no reason. Blaze is going to get jumped on, but there's no follow-up damage. So Blaze just sits in this pit and says, you know what, I'm okay. I'm perfectly fine. Nothing happens. The entire time Sek's just taking a beating. He's now out of the team fight. Potter goes in, can't get the assassination on towards Chili. He lives through that, forcing Archony, the assassin, to use his abilities to kill a support. So that's a lot being burnt just to kill the support coming out from Archony. So Detonator now torn apart. Then you see the Colden for hero play. He goes in, he goes for the big fight. He's able to pick up a kill and does go down to Guardian Angel. And now the fight gets sloppy. But look at Carino and Caspiel's health bars. As they disengage here, Ocean Dragon's going to kick in. They're going to be able to heal up as they come back in to help Shine, who is chasing down Sek. This whole time, Shine's just saying, I need to buy time. Take as little damage as possible so he keeps away from Colden Feet, dodges crucial skill shots, and as soon as the ultimate comes back up, pops the ultimate, and all his hit points just regenerate. He fights through all these minions, just pushes through the rest of the team. So Axis Empire really tore apart that fight piece by piece, down from, you know, the mistakes at the start, which is Akali using the ultimate on towards the support, Jarvan being forced to initiate and then taking a beating from it, removing himself from the fight, and Colden Feet's heroics to split up the team. So very well played from Axis Empire to capitalize on those micro mistakes being made and coming back into the fight really well. But Detonator really need to look at that. Like, what was the objective there? Because if the objective was to engage on towards Blaze, they critically failed. Because there was no follow-up coming out from Jarvan, and Blaze the entire time was left to do whatever he wanted. And they eventually started focusing Chili, who's the support coming in for Axis Empire.
Yeah, you know, and his
not the person you want to fight.
And his only job is to engage. So if he's already used his ultimate
it's
on
done.
your rest of your team, Chili's done his job.
Exactly.
That's all he needs to do.
Then you can die afterwards, and you actually won't mind, because then you are doing your job of not only engaging, but you've taken a lot of damage for your team, meaning the rest of your team can survive through the fight. Really nicely played coming out from Axis to capitalize on that.
Yeah, so Axis Empire are going to go up 1-0. We'll take a short break, and when we come back, it's going to be game 2. We'll see if Axis Empire can lock in their ticket to the semifinals.